British spies who were close enough to have access to Hitler's food planned to smuggle doses of estrogen into what he ate and drank to make him less aggressive and more docile. Their plan, in essence, was to feminize Hitler. On February 27, 1933, a month after Hitler came to power, the German parliament building, the Reichstag, was set on fire. Prior to this, Hitler had constantly been proclaiming that there was a communist plot to overthrow his government. Before the night was over, and while the parliament fire still burned, Hitler had drawn up a set of decrees that extinguished the guaranteed individual freedoms of Germany's citizens. In the 1920s, Berlin was known as the center of sexual perversion, drugs, and depravity. Once in power, Hitler ordered the city cleansed of these elements. Obscene books, pornography, and communist literature were all burned by the National Socialists. During World War II, Japan bombed the Chinese with fleas infected with bubonic plague. Jewish lawyer Hans Litten put rising politician Adolf Hitler into the witness box and cross-examined him for 3 hours. Litten was later arrested when the Nazis came into power and was brutally tortured for 5 years until he committed suicide. After Jesse Owens won 4 gold medals in the 1936 Olympics held in Berlin, it was widely reported that Hitler snubbed Owens and other non-Aryan Olympians. However, Owens himself claimed that the German Chancellor waved at him and later sent him a commemorative inscribed cabinet photograph of himself. Turns out the one who really snubbed Owens was then President Franklin D. Roosevelt. Neither he nor his successor, Harry S. Truman, recognized Owens for his accomplishments during their terms. If his father hadn't changed his name in 1877, Hitler's name would have been Adolf Schicklgruber. World War II Flight Sergeant Nicholas Alcemade survived a fall from 18,000 feet without a parachute, suffering only a sprained leg. The Nazi Party tried to turn Christmas into a non-religious holiday celebrating the coming of Hitler, with St. Nicholas replaced by Odin the Solstice Man and swastikas on top of Christmas trees. Fanta originated in Germany as a result of difficulties importing Coca-Cola syrup into Nazi Germany during World War II. Hitler never regarded the Chinese and Japanese as inferior to the Aryans. He thought that, quote, their past history was superior to our own, end quote. During the war, the Allies dropped so many bombs that over 5,500 World War II era bombs are discovered in Germany every year and defused. An average of 15 are found every day. Hitler had a Jewish Austrian doctor who didn't charge Hitler's family during his childhood due to their economic hardship. Because of this, Hitler showed his everlasting gratitude by never sending him to a concentration camp, had him protected by the Gestapo, and referred to him as a noble Jew. Queen Elizabeth II served as a mechanic and driver during World War II. 2 million German women aged 13 to 70 were allegedly raped and brutally murdered by the Red Army during World War II. You may think World War II is over, but technically it's not. Japan and Russia have yet to sign the peace treaty signifying the end of the war. This is primarily due to the dispute over the Kuril Islands. Hitler wrote a second book after Mein Kampf in 1928. In it, he describes why he would go to war in Europe and how he admired the U.S. eugenics program. It was never published because he feared it would hurt already dwindling Mein Kampf sales. One of Hitler's personal chauffeurs and close friends, Emil Maurice, was found to be Jewish and was targeted for expulsion from the SS by Heinrich Himmler. Upon hearing that Maurice was of Jewish descent, Hitler made an exception for he and his brothers, calling them honorary Aryans. The French resistance cut the elevator cables to the Eiffel Tower to keep Hitler from ascending to the top during his visit when Paris fell. When faced with the prospect of climbing over 1,500 stairs, Hitler opted out. The Gulf War cost each American $306, while the Vietnam War cost $2,204 for each person. The Korean War cost was $2,266 a person, and World War II cost each person an incredible $20,388 due to the fact that World War II had a price tag of over $3 trillion. While America hypocritically criticized the Nazis for their treatment of the Jews, Hitler, in an ironic twist, often praised the efficiency of the United States genocide of Native Americans. During World War II, the Japanese invaded Alaska, and more Americans were killed or wounded defending Alaska than at Pearl Harbor. Number 1 is coming up next, and if you want to see more videos like this, consider hitting that subscribe button. It's free and painless. Where did the myth that carrots are good for your eyes come from? In World War II, British pilots had a game-changing new tool for finding their enemies at night: radar. But if the enemy knew about the Allies' new technology, they'd undoubtedly start working on copying it. So the British military started a rumor that their pilots had high carrot diets to thank for their newfound night vision. If you enjoyed this video and you think others could benefit by viewing it, click that like button and share it on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. If you want to see more videos like this, as well as a mix of other content, give that subscribe button a click. For more information and additional content, let's connect on Facebook at facebook.com/highimpactflix and reach out to me on Twitter at highimpactflix. Until next time, remember, it's easier to deceive the masses than to convince them that they've been deceived.